All right, here we go. This one's going to be a 357 SIG versus 10 millimeter test. Today we're going to be testing out the Federal HST. So for the 357 SIG, that one is our 125 grain HST. That's what that one looks like. Does have your nickel plated brass, and that one's rated at 1,360 feet per second. And for our 10 millimeter, that one is the 200 grain HST. That same nickel plated brass, and that one's rated 1,130 feet per second. So definitely not full power 10, but still should be a pretty fun test. So for our 357 SIG, we are going to be using our Glock 32. That one does have a 4-inch barrel. And for our 10 millimeter, we're going to be using our Glock 29. That one has a 3.78-inch barrel, so pretty close in comparison there. So we'll be going through our gel. That is a 10% block. We do have our catch block behind that, so a total of 22 inches of gel. Our 4 layers of cotton t-shirt on the front. Like always, we'll set up our chronograph so you can hopefully pick up those impact velocities. So let's set up and see how these rounds do head to head. First one up will be that 357 SIG. All right, we're set back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1389, so definitely over advertised, which is really good to see. Not quite as much as that full size when we tested, but still pretty good. All right, and there is that entry. Looks like I got a pretty good hit on that one. You can see right down in that cavity, and some pretty nice spiral cuts so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, really nice. So you can see as soon as that thing came in, started to open up. Got a really nice spiral pattern going through. Looks like it carried most of the way through that block, and then we actually did make it into that second one. So pretty decent penetration on this one, and it does look like we did get a blowout here. So let's see what our measurement is all the way over. Looks like we are 2 3/4 inches, so definitely not too bad. So let's check it out from the side. And same thing from the side. Looks like as soon as that thing came in, got immediate expansion. Started opening up. You can see I blow out a little bit better here where it opened up. But yeah, it looks like it carried that energy pretty much all the way through that block. Maybe that last ½ inch or so, where it started to settle down. Let's check it out. Yeah, maybe that last inch or so started to settle down a little bit, but pretty good pattern going all the way through. And then we did make it into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have here from the side. So it looks like at our widest spot, we are right at 2 3/4 inches. So pretty much exactly the same as the top. So really good to see there. And then let's see what that round is. Looks like it's kind of facing towards us and upward. At our leading edge, you're right at 3 inches. So that one made it a total of 14 inches of penetration. So not too bad. So let's set up for that 10 millimeter and see how that one does. All right, we're stepping back to 15 feet. All right, let's see what we did on that one. So it looks like our impact velocity on that one was 1048. So definitely not too bad. A little bit lower than advertised. When I do test it out of our full size 5-inch, we're usually hitting right at that advertised mark. But you know, you got to remember this is a short barrel, so pretty good. And it was a 200 grain slug, so not too bad at all. All right, and there is an entry. Looks like I got a perfect hit on that one, and you can see right down in that cavity. It looks like that really big hollow point cavity took some of that gel with it. So pretty good start pattern so far. So let's check it out from the top. Oh yeah, check that out. Looks like we have some perfect spiral cuts going through. Those are really nice looking. Looks like it carried that energy pretty good, and we did actually make it a good ways into our second block. But that definitely has a really nice start pattern. So let's see what kind of measurement we have from the top. So it looks like at our widest spot, we are at 2.5 inches. So about a 1/4 inch less than our 357 SIG. But, you know, that was a heavier slug and it wasn't moving as fast, but still pretty good there. So let's check it out from the side. And same thing from the side. So it looks like as soon as that thing came in, started to open up really nicely. And then you can see that really distinct star pattern going through. Got some really nice cuts though. And then that one did pretty much carry the whole way through. And then did start to settle down towards the end. Then we made it a good ways into that second block. So let's see what kind of measurement we have from the side. So let's see, at our widest spot, we are about 2 inches. So not as much from the side, you know, as the top, but still pretty good. And let's see where that round is resting. So I don't know if you guys are able to see it, but got some pretty good penetration. Looks like it went about halfway through that block, and it is facing upwards. So we are 6 inches. So that one made it a total of 17 inches of penetration. So quite a bit actually. So let's check out these tracks one more time. So one on the right is that 357 SIG. One on the left is that 10 millimeter. So here is that 357 SIG. See where that one came in, started to open up. Have a really nice star pattern going all the way through. Did settle down a little bit, and then it is resting at second block. It is that round there on the top. And for a 10 millimeter, same thing. Came in, looks like pretty much opened up about the same time. Got that really, really nice spiral cut going all the way through. Did settle down a little bit towards the end, and then you can see it kind of flatline. And we did make it into that second block quite a ways, so not too bad. So let's pull these rounds and see what they look like. All right, check these things out. Looks like they both got some really nice expansion. So the one on the right is that 357 SIG, one on the left is that 10 millimeter. So here is that 357 SIG, and that one got some picture perfect uniform expansion on that one. You can see it open right up. Those petals peeled perfectly to the end of that base, end of that round, and just really, really nice looking slug right there. Couldn't get much better than that. Then there's quite a bit of gel still stuffed down in that one, but picture perfect. Looks like 100% weight retention too, so really good to see there. When we do test it out at full size, you know, those petals usually peel right over that base, but not too bad at all. And for that 10 millimeter, pretty much same thing, picture perfect, uniform expansion. This one actually does have 2 cantilever locks, and it looks like it was pretty close to making it to that first one. It wasn't moving, you know, at its full potential because it was that short barrel, but still pretty good. And that is one huge slug. And then this one has quite a bit of gel too. We'll rinse both of these before we get our shots here at the end, but not too bad at all, man. They both did really, really good. So we'll check them out one time from the bottom. So the one on the right is that 357 SIG, one on the left is that 10 millimeter. You can definitely tell quite a bit longer bullet on the left, but it looks like they pretty much expanded about the same diameter. And one more time from the top. So there we go, guys. That one was 357 SIG versus 10 millimeter out of those mid-size compacts. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, and here's that cross section for that 357 SIG. This one has some pretty awesome looking star pattern going on down in there. Huge, huge cuts, really wide splitting. Same thing on this other side. Very uniform. I did remeasure these. They're peaking right at 3 inches, and they're averaging about 2 3/4. So definitely good stuff there, but it's really cool to see that pattern going down in there. So let's cut this open. Right, so there's after being cut. So this bottom is the right, this top is the left. So you can see pretty much as soon as that thing came in, started to open up right that 1/4 inch mark and causing some huge, huge damage, huge path going on. It is dragging in a little bit of that cotton t-shirt, but definitely some huge splits down in there. And the same thing on this other side right there, it came in, 1/4 inch mark, started to parachute open. And once again, you can see that nice track going through. There's a little bit more of that fabric here too. There's dragging in, but some really, really deep cuts. Really clean cuts too. That one was moving out pretty good, you know. Definitely over advertised, which is good. And that is my round of choice when I do carry 357 SIG, which is, you know, more than 90% of the time. But Definitely pretty impressive stuff there. So there we go. That one was the 125 grain Federal HST out of that Glock 32. All right, and here's that cross section for that 10 millimeter. So this one definitely did pretty good too. Got some nice splitting going on. This one has a really distinct kind of spiral cut going down in there from that rifling. But, you know, pretty impressive stuff. Same thing on this other side. Nice wide splits going on. I did remeasure these, and they are right at 2.5 inches. So definitely not as much as that 357 SIG, but still pretty impressive. I know a lot of people don't really care for that HST because it's not full power stuff, but still does some pretty good damage. So let's cut this open. All right, and here's after being cut. So this bottom is the right side, this top is the left. So you can see as soon as this one came in, probably the 1/8 inch mark, started to open up, creating a nice wound channel going all the way through. This one did have a huge hull point cavity, so you can tell it's dragging in quite a bit of that cotton t-shirt. But we do have some pretty impressive splits going on. You can see that t-shirt way out here too. But quite a bit of damage. And same thing on this top. Came in, parachuted open, and a nice stretch cavity going all the way through. And same thing on this side. Tons and tons of fabric. So it's definitely dragging it through here. We got some nice splits going down. Nice wide cutting. Still wouldn't want to be in front of that thing regardless if it's not full power or not. It was still trucking along pretty darn good. But there we go, guys. That one was that 200 grain Federal HST out of that Glock 29.